Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're looking at an interesting question, and I see this a lot. Let's say you go to a church and you've got more than one acoustic guitar player. What do they do? What are they doing differently from each other? And how can they do something that's worthwhile up on stage, instead of just doubling what the other one's doing? And that's what we're going to tackle today. So, the first option, quite honestly, is just to go ahead and play exactly the same thing. It's not a huge deal, and in some cases, it'll actually help to really bolster a big part of the song if you're playing the exact same thing. Instead of playing exactly the same thing, is going to be to play different voicings of the same chords. So for example, when you're playing a G, you could play a G like this, with this sort of open voicing. Or you could play it like this, with this sort of voicing. Or you can play it with a bar chord. When you do that, it might sound something like this. Another option, which is a personal favorite of mine, is to use a capo. And with the capo, you can move the key of your guitar around, and in doing so, you can kind of switch to a different set of notes, a different voice on your guitar, and really be able to separate the two acoustics that are happening on stage. For example, if we're playing a song in the key of G, to where it sounds like this, you can throw a capo on the 3rd fret, and suddenly you can play in the key of E. And it's going to sound similar. But you're going to be able to get into some of the different voicings that you can get from another key. Similarly, you can take this all the way up the neck and be able to get different voicings. If you're interested in more information about this, you can look up videos on the caged system, and that can help you to get started. Similar to the capo, you might consider tuning a guitar down. This is my my old 69 Harmony. This is actually tuned down a step, so instead of playing G, I'm actually going to be playing A, and it's going to sound the same. My A shapes. And that's going to sound something like this. And as long as you're tuning something down, you might as well go ahead and just use something in a completely alternate tuning, so that way you get totally different voicings. This is my resonator guitar from Republic Guitars, and right now this is set up in open G. So my strings are tuned to make a nice big G chord as it's open. This makes it really useful for slide guitar, but it also works really nicely just to give some different really interesting and different chord voicings. You use one of these and it might sound something like this. Now this next tip is going to get a little bit weird, so bear with me. I know the point of this video is what can two acoustic guitar players do, and obviously this is not an acoustic guitar, but one of the best options sometimes is to switch to a similar but very sonically different kind of guitar. So for example, this is a Irish bouzouki, and I have this tuned as an octave mandolin. If you're not familiar with mandolin chords, it's actually pretty quick and easy for a guitar player to pick up. It's sort of like you take the guitar chords and you flip them upside down, and you get these great chords. So the great thing about the bouzouki is you can get these shimmery, chorusy sounds, and it just sounds really good. Some other instruments you might try include the regular mandolin, which is actually, it's an octave higher than the guitar, and it really sits nicely on top of everything. Or, as cheesy as it might sound, you might consider trying the ukulele. The ukulele is going to sit in exactly the same place as a guitar that's capoed at the 5th fret. And so if you're playing in G, then you're going to be using your D shapes. I really like to use the ukulele as an instrument to do arpeggios. It seems to work really well in that capacity. But here in this next one, I will show you kind of what happens when you use all of those things. So there you have it, 5 different ideas for things that you can do besides just playing the exact same thing, even though playing the exact same thing is certainly an option. What other strategies do you use when you're sitting in with another acoustic guitar player? Let us know in the comment section down below. And if you like this sort of content, feel free to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and we try to get out a new vlog every Monday and have some new music, new cover videos coming out soon. So we'll see you next week.